This week's Piltch Point with Avram Piltch is proudly powered by PureVPN. The best way to protect your privacy online is with PureVPN. You can hide your online activities, say goodbye to regional restrictions, and improve your streaming quality. Plus, it's available for almost all of your devices. And right now, you can get a special price and a 31-day money-back guarantee, all by going to pilchpoint.live/PureVPN. All right, so we were just talking about supply chain problems on F5 Live, and now Avram, you and your team are working on getting us some information on how we can find some of those in-demand products, right?
Yes. So where there's a will, there's a way. If you are looking for while there are definitely supply issues, there are ways to get your hands on either one of the desirable graphics cards, one of the desirable CPUs, or a computer that has those components within it. So obviously, if you look around on the internet right now, it is very tough to find a couple of different kinds of things. One, any graphics card of any kind is very hard to get right now. Even old ones, even low-end ones are selling out like crazy, and the prices are jacked up like crazy. I mean, it's out of control, right? What the prices are. I mean, you might spend $400 for a last generation graphics card that should cost $150 if you can find it. So what can you do? So first of all, the easiest thing to do if you are not upgrading an existing PC or building one is to look for a pre-built computer. There is stock of pre-built computers, and you can get them. So looking right now at Alienware, for example, Alienware's laptops, you can order an M15 that has RTX 3060, 3070, or 3080 graphics, and you can get it within 2 weeks. So you can get it.
And you don't have to fight anybody for it.
Similar story for desktops. You can get desktops that you can get your hands on desktops with. I mean, it may take you a couple of weeks of wait, but not horrible. Looking here, for example, I'm looking at their desktop selection for Alienware. They say that you can get, well, it is about a month wait time. That's not great, but you will eventually get it. I see here that you can get, for $1,900, you can get a Core i7 11700F with a 3060 graphics card for $1,891. That's not a great price, but that's an okay price for right now. It's not a great price if you were going by MSRPs of the components, but but you can get, because OEMs like Alienware have their own supply that they're getting of the graphics cards, and some are reserved for them. So you do have a decent chance of getting your hands on a machine that has those in them if you go for a pre-built computer. Another thing to keep in mind in the CPU space is that if you want to, believe it or not, we were talking on an earlier segment about Intel having supply issues, but Intel is in much better shape than AMD because you can get, at reasonable prices, Intel's new Rocket Lake 11th gen core CPUs. I'm looking at Amazon right now, and you can get the new Core i5 11400, which we love at Tom's Hardware, for $186. That is a 6-core, highly overclockable chip. I think you can overclock the 11400. That is a 6-core chip that uses only 65 watts. You can get the 11700 for $339. So you can get your hands on Intel's Rocket Lake chips. The ones that are hard to get, but you can still find them if you keep your eye out, are the AMD Ryzen 5000 series CPUs, which are in more demand because, frankly, they're a little bit better. And those have been, even though those have been out for like 6 months, those are going in and out of stock frequently, although you can find them if you keep checking Amazon. So what can you do if you're in the market for a graphics card or one of those AMD chips that is hard to come by? There's a few things. One, you can use Newegg's product shuffle. Now, this sounds at first blush kind of bad. Like, why should I have to be in a lottery for the right to buy something? But periodically, and they don't give a lot of advance notice, we have been writing articles about it at Tom's Hardware. Newegg every day or two has something at newegg.com/product-shuffle, and for an hour and a half you can enter. There's no cost to enter. You could enter your name in a drawing for the right to purchase something like a new graphics card, and if you have won the ability to buy it, you'll get an email about, I think, 2 or 3 hours later, and then you'll have like a 3-hour window in which you can buy at the price they said. So, and the prices they said are probably a bit above MSRP, but are not like eBay prices. Now, everything is available on eBay. If you want a graphics card and you have unlimited funds, then yes, you can buy it on eBay. We maintain, we update weekly something called the GPU price index at Tom's Hardware, and where we track what things are selling for on eBay, which tells you what the market is like, but that is not what you would want to pay. So keep that in mind. Now, one thing that's interesting is crypto mining is driving a lot of this demand. So cards like a NVIDIA 3060 are actually in more demand than like a 3070 because there's no difference in crypto mining performance between the middle tier and the slightly higher tier. So anyway, so you can use a Newegg Shuffle. You can go to eBay, but what is another way you can do this? There are sites out there that will actually send you alerts, and one that I have up here is called hotstock.io. That is hotstock.io, and if I can, I'm going to share my screen for a sec, and you can actually see what hotstock.io actually looks like. So let's just do that. Okay. So here's Hotstock. Can you see my screen now?
Absolutely.
Okay. So here's Hotstock, right? And there are other companies that do this. But this one seems to be as good as any other. So you can go here and you can say like, hey, PlayStation 5, alert me. And you can have it send you push notifications, or you can have it send you email. You've signed up for an account. And this is really important. If you use it, you want to set a maximum price, because you do not want to get, what they don't seem to have is the ability to exclude eBay. And if you get eBay alerts, obviously you'll get eBay alerts all day long because eBay somebody's always selling everything on eBay, right? But at prices you don't want to pay. So this is where you'll want to set a maximum price, which will kind of get you out of avoid getting eBay alerts. You can see here is PlayStation 5. Now, one problem that this site doesn't solve, and I haven't seen anybody solve, is how do I if I want an RTX 3060, how do I get an alert for that? The problem with that is there's not one RTX 3060, but I don't see that show here, but like dozens of them.
Yeah.
Right? Every brand has their own RTX 3060. So if you're really studious, you probably go through and you'll want to put in different model numbers because you probably don't care whether, I mean, there's minor differences, but you probably don't care that much right now whether yours is the Zotac or the EVGA or the MSI model. You just want a 3060 or you just want a 3080 at this point, right? I mean, most people are probably not overly concerned with which model it is, but they haven't set up something. I mean, just like if I look on eBay and on Newegg here, you'll see just how many things have. Now, see, when I do a search, the first thing that comes up, systems that have the graphics card in them, right?
Because they're available.
So again, because they're available. Now, if I go here for desktop graphics cards, what can I get? Oh, I can get a 3060. Look at that. It says it's in stock for only $1,400 for a card that's supposed to be $400. And look at this little telltale thing that the price is even worse than it looks because whatever vendor it is has decided to tack on a $200 shipping fee.
Oof.
I find that really, a little on the sleazy side. Like they try to make you think that it's a little bit cheaper than another one or something, but then they charge you. This is not Newegg actually themselves doing it. It's probably a third party vendor via like Annie's Bear or whatever, whoever that is. But yeah, if you look through the desktop graphics cards, it's like, look here, a 1050 Ti. This is like 2 generations ago or something, 1 or 2 generations ago. Graphics card should be selling for $150 tops, $373. Here's a last generation 2060 card, should be selling for like $300 at the most, $963. A used one is $899. It's madness. It's absolutely madness right now with graphics cards. Here's a 1030. It's pretty much no better. It's hardly better than integrated graphics. If you are building a PC and you still want to build a PC, and I can't blame you, I love to build a PC. Another possibility is to use integrated graphics. Get an AMD Radeon an AMD Ryzen chip that has built-in integrated graphics. Those are better than the Intel integrated graphics, although the new Rocket Lake integrated graphics are not bad. And if you are not particular about you're really building for productivity, not for gaming, or very light gaming, then integrated graphics will do. And then you can eventually buy a graphics card later when hopefully someday things calm down. But the situation is obviously really bad right now. We don't know exactly what's going to make it better. I will tell you one thing is that it looks like NVIDIA may be doing more to try to stop people from crypto mining on their gaming cards. They had made some kind of attempt with their driver software to stop people from crypto mining, and then people just found ways to disable that. But I read a rumor today that
in fairness,
they may
In fairness,
Yeah.
they did accidentally release a development driver that disabled it, and that was kind of the end of.
Yes. Yes. They did a lot to mess it
Yeah,
up.
they did it to themselves a little bit.
You can also argue whether or not, a company should stop you from using something for a particular purpose. And in principle, I don't like that. But
It's certainly the
uh,
anti-Apple argument.
but this situation is getting to be, a really bad situation for people who are not miners. You have large companies, well, not large companies. You have companies, as opposed to individuals, um, do it, just buying up, setting up farms of these farms, buying tons and tons and tons of graphics cards, willing to overpay for them because of because they can mine things like Ethereum with
Because of
it.
the return.
And and so it's shutting out the rest of the market, and that's not, I mean, that's good for the miners, and that's temporarily good for the graphics card vendors, but in the long run it's terrible because you're making people lose interest in PC gaming when you do this.
Yeah.
So over the long haul, making people lose interest in PC gaming is not in Nvidia's interest. It is not in AMD's interest. Uh, it is going, you people, if people cannot get the hardware to play the games they want to play, it's going to stunt an entire market. So that, and believe me, crypto mine. First of all, there's Nvidia is already working on dedicated crypto cards. There's absolutely better ways to. I'm sure somebody could come out with optimized hardware. As you know, now Bitcoin is all mined on ASICs, um, systems that are designed just to mine Bitcoin.
Yeah.
So it doesn't really like. I can't see this interest in mining with a PC lasting forever. And there's a very good chance that at some point some of these currencies crash. Like, I mean, I'm no a market expert, so please don't take my word for it. But time and again, we've seen interest in crypto mining wax and wane.
Mm-hmm.
And right now, it's at a peak, but I almost guarantee there's going to be a valley, and then you're going to have a whole lot of people who lost interest in PC gaming who may not come back to it when the supply gets better.
It's true. Well, obviously it's a big problem. It's affecting video cards and gaming consoles really hard right now. But we know that we talked in the last segment. We talked about how it's even affecting General Motors and their ability to make cars. It's really a lose-lose situation all around. But yeah, I think you're absolutely right. There's a whole industry that has been on an upswing, right? In PC gaming, but it could all fall apart if people can't.
I mean,
stay in it.
Yeah. I mean, they've made it very hard for people to stay in it, and it's really bad. So I understand why, I understand both sides. I understand people who got some extra hardware and they want to do a little mining, and I understand why people have started businesses with mining. But I also very much understand why a lot of gamers are really angry at the miners because they're kind of ruining it for everybody else.
Yep.
So it's a bad situation. I think. I think if the market for crypto calms down, then I think or people start inventing, although I don't think with chip shortages this is going to happen, more dedicated hardware like they did for Bitcoin. Because right now I think the main thing people are mining a lot is Ethereum
and Monero, because that's gone through the roof recently too.
Yeah. So I don't know. I hope it gets better. We all hope it gets better. But until then, I encourage folks. We have some articles about this on tomshardware.com. We have a specific stock, our own stories about where to find stock of some of the important CPUs and GPUs, and when we find stuff, we tweet it out. So follow us on Twitter, and hopefully things will get better soon.
Yeah, for sure, for so many reasons. Well, Avram, as always, I appreciate you bringing this because I was completely unaware of this hot stock idea. It is a fascinating idea, and I'm going to be playing around with it after the show. So,
Yep.
so thanks for that, and as always, I look forward to what we talk about next. Hello, YouTube. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this episode of The Piltch Point with Avram Piltch. If you did, please subscribe to our channel, and of course hit the notification bell since subscriptions don't mean much on YouTube anymore. And if you've got topics you'd like us to discuss in the future, we'd love to hear from you in the comments below. If you don't want to follow us on YouTube, that's okay. There's a lot of other ways that you can follow our content. You can find all of that by going to plughitslive.com/subscribe. There you'll see all of our shows and all the different ways that you can watch, listen, and follow along.